Welcome back. I'm Amber Kimmel, host of If These Walls Could Talk with Kimmel Collective Real Estate here in Abilene, Texas. Today, we have Randy with the XDOT Prep School here visiting with us. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us, Amber.
Yeah, thank you. You may be wondering why I wanted you to come in or what you guys have to do with real estate, but every single time I sell a house to somebody with children, they always ask, what about the schools?
Right.
And last week was the first time I heard about XDOT Prep, and it really piqued my interest. And I was like, I need to know, the people need to know what this is and what you guys are doing and what kind of options are out there. And so I really appreciate you coming in today.
Yeah, for sure. We're excited to be here and hopefully answer questions.
Thank you. I want to start with, what about the name? Does that stand for something, or what's up with the name XDOT Prep?
Yeah, so that is kind of a funny story. So we started as a homeschool program a couple of years ago, and I grew up on a cattle ranch. My wife grew up on a cattle ranch. Our brand was the Rockin' X. Her brand was the Dot Bar. And so we built a school, not knowing it was going to grow like it did. We just we combined our brands and called it XDOT, and now it's like with sunk cost, it grew. The homeschool side of it exploded, and here we are with XDOT.
Okay, very cool. So it's kind of has a personal meaning for you guys, but doesn't stand for something bigger than that.
Really, that's really all it is. The cattle brand that just grew, turned into a brand of a school.
Okay, and you guys started as a homeschool, is that correct?
Yeah, so we opened 3 years ago. We started a kind of a homeschool co-op. We just opened a little school building to let kids come in and do like once a week programming, and then we started some sports programs with it. But it exploded. We're just ending this year. This is our last year operating as a homeschool program, and it'll end with about 800 kids who have participated in some capacity.
So 800 kids within your structure.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm shocked I have not heard about it.
Yeah, and it's a lot. And that's where the demand, when we started, we just are kind of competitive and ambitious, and we just want to be really good at the things that we do. And that's why we homeschooled. It wasn't to get out of public school or to not do that. We just wanted to provide a little bit more for our kids and have a little bit higher expectations for them. And we're just a little bit ambitious that way. And so we homeschooled to try to, because we were trying to accomplish a little bit more. And that's kind of the vision behind what XDOT Prep is turning into.
Okay.
From the homeschool now into launching XDOT Prep, it's just about setting a higher standard, setting higher expectations and higher ambitions.
I like that. So what grades are you guys servicing?
Yeah, so we go K through 12. We offer really high quality academics and athletic programs for our high school and junior high kids, and then we offer the academics for the K through 6.
Very cool. I like something that you said about offering something a little bit different or a little bit different expectations higher. A lot of times when these people are moving into town and they're asking about schools, I personally have this thought process of, I don't think there's necessarily a one size fits all, like where one kid might thrive more might be different than another one. Right. And we have a lot of good schools here locally. I think it's just about finding the right fit for your kid as to where they might have the best opportunity and the best success.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to take over the school market. That we don't have capacity to serve all the kids. We're just trying to we want to do what we do and do it really well and serve the families that it works for. And what we're trying to do is similar to what like an IMG Academy is doing in Florida. Really specialized athletic training and programming with the elite academics also. So kids that are really focused on, and families that are really focused on getting to the next level. If I'm a basketball player and I really want to go play college ball and hopefully professional ball eventually, we're providing a space where they can it's not a teacher hired to coach on the side. It's our coaches are the best in the business. And so a kid can be treated like a professional and really develop and prepare for that next level.
That's one thing that really piqued my interest when I was hearing a little bit about what you guys were doing, because a lot of times I hear when you hear about homeschooling or you hear about alternative schools, one thing that you're sacrificing or end up sacrificing is the sports and the athletics and things like that. But it sounds like that's something that you guys try to pair, if not equally, exceptionally.
Yeah, exactly. So our kids, the way our school operates is we operate just like a normal school in that we offer a local varsity team, a local JV team, and we have our junior high teams. But what we do as a program is we add a layer on top of that. So we have a showcase or a national team. And that's filled with kids who are wanting college exposure. They're wanting to go play in front of scouts and make those connections and get built into that network. So it's a smooth transition into the college game.
Very cool. So what all sports are you guys hosting?
Right. So basketball, we have boys and girls basketball, we have baseball, we have volleyball, we have track and field, we have cross country, we're working on football. We're a 6-man right now, but we're working on, we actually have some things lined up, like really exciting things lined up to get football really rolling too.
Well, it's Texas, so you have to have football.
Right, for sure, for sure.
You got to have football in there. Very cool. Now, do the athletics start at middle school, like in public schools, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we offer an intramural league, and it's actually open to the public, so it's not just X.Prep families. It's like another rec league. We focus on smaller games, small-sided games, and more development friendly. I don't know if you've ever been to like a Little Dribblers basketball game where it's 5-on-5 when they're in 3rd grade, and you got 10 kids chasing the basketball around like chickens chasing a grasshopper. So instead of putting 10 kids on the court, we cut the number in half. We put like 5 to 6 on a court and let them play. That way it gets more touches. Kids at the younger ages, we're just really trying to get kids to fall in love with it. And so then they jump in at junior high, and then they play on traditional basketball teams with us, and then all the way up through high school.
Very cool. Yeah. Now, and is your school structured? Where is it? Is it because I know it started out as homeschool. Do you have a set schedule in-person classes, or what does that structure look like, and does it vary across grades, or?
Right, yep. So great question. So we are transitioning out of that homeschool model. So some of our athletes and some of our participants, they still do choose to homeschool, but the majority of our students and the ones that we're serving, it's more of a real school model. So we have a classroom. It's different than a traditional school, as in our kids don't go to school for 8 hours a day. They do come to a class. They come and there's a certified teacher. They're the best, the same as our coaches. We're not bringing anybody on that cannot get their academics to the next level. So our teachers are amazing and they're credentialed, but it's efficient. The kids are in smaller class sizes, 10 to 15 kids in a group. Their classes are only about 4 or 5 hours a day, and so they're able to knock out all their academics. They test better, they perform better. We're just more efficient with it. And so we get them in and out, and then they have all afternoon to pursue their passions.
Very cool. Where do you guys have a location? Do you always meet at the same place, or what does that classroom setting look like?
Right, yeah, so our campus is downtown Abilene. So our kids, especially our high school kids, they function a little bit more like a college kid. So we'll meet at our campus, but then a lot of times we're spending the day in a coffee shop, or we're spending the day in an art museum. We're trying to get our kids out of the traditional brick and mortar behind cinder block walls, and get them out into the community and understand how to function and work in the community that we hope that someday they'll lead.
Real life experiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you say your campus. Where is that located?
Right. So right now it is the Elks Art Preservation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's exciting. Yeah. And you said that you're transitioning. So is this 26-27 school year going to look different than it has in the past for you guys?
Yeah. So in the past we've done a 1-day or a 3-day hybrid, designed and built to serve homeschooling families. And so we'll still offer access to homeschooling families, but our flagship program for the upcoming year is our 5-day school. And so it's a fully enrolled, private, elite school.
And what does the application process look like for your school?
Right, so it's an online application. They go onto our website, they can fill out an application there. We have specialists who can help walk them through that process if they need help. But it's kind of an extensive form, where We're trying to make sure that our classroom is filled with people who will pour into the classroom, and make sure the community is filled with people who will pour into the community. And so they do an online application. Then following that, we have an in-person family interview. And then from there, we send out enrollment offers.
Nice. And speaking to you, I'm curious about how long have you had kids in your program? What's the longevity of kids that you've had working with you guys?
Yeah, so we opened with the homeschool program. We opened 3 years ago, and we've had kids that have been with us the whole way through.
For all 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I'm assuming you've just grown year over year.
Yeah. The first year we started with like 200 kids. The second year it really exploded. We got to like 500, and then this year we're about to 800.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. So we imagine moving to a 5-day week and adjusting our programming a little bit. The numbers will shrink a little bit, but that's intentional. That's because we want to make sure that we're able to offer the quality of service that we're trying to be as a school.
One of the things that I think that is great about having you guys come in and speak to this, I grew up here in Abilene, small town Abilene, and Abilene's growing a lot.
Right.
And what I'm noticing is we're getting a lot of people moving in from other places where maybe they've had similar type schooling options, but here locally, at least to the best of my knowledge, there hasn't been much that's structured like yours is.
Right. Yeah. So we started. We believe in traditional public school. We believe in the traditional school model. It serves a lot of people really, really well. But for our family, we just had a little bit higher aspirations and higher expectations for our kids and what the public school system or traditional models are able to do. And so we've really kind of, the future of school looks a lot more like self-led and self-directed and hands-on. We all know that kids learn better by getting in and doing things and making things and creating themselves. And so we're really leaning into that model. So we call it a 360 degree learning model. So our kids, they learn it. They do their traditional coursework. They make sure that their NCAA aligned standards are met. It's an accredited coursework that they do. But then we move beyond that. Rather than that being our ceiling or the goal that we're reaching for, that's the floor. That's the bare minimum of what we require. Beyond that, our kids are doing and making and building. And once they do that, then it's kind of that old saying of you don't really know something until you can reteach that thing. And so that's the 360 degree model. Is our kids learn it, they do it, and then they teach it. And our academic program is really built on that, leaning into the hands-on and making things. So we lean heavy into an entrepreneurial program. At our school offers what we call a startup incubator, similar to like what Y Combinator offers with Google. Is kids bring a business idea and they're surrounded by local mentors and entrepreneurs who have built businesses and know how to function. And these kids it's not theoretical. They don't just play pretend money in the classroom. They are building businesses that they fully intend to launch here in Abilene. We just really believe strongly in the Abilene community, and we love it here, and we just want to pour into it. And we think that kids can be a big part of that.
That's exciting. I'm sure a lot of that thought process around learning is setting kids up for, that higher level thinking and thinking beyond just like the classroom.
Right.
I would think one thing that parents might come to you guys asking is, how does your school compare to maybe public school or other places, or is it the same? Like, are they prepared and ready to step into college or whatever might be next?
Right. Yeah. So we do. Their traditional schools, like I said, they do a great job of what they do, and especially at the scale that they have to do it. We're able to operate a little bit more efficiently just because of the smaller class sizes and the teachers that we're able to bring in. Is with a small group of 10 to 15, our kids they just learn at a much more efficient pace. They're able to get their traditional schoolwork in like a couple hours. They get their coursework done in 1 to 2 hours, and then then they have the rest of that academic time to make and build and do. And then we have lunch, and then our kids are off doing training. They're in the gym. They're on the field working at their craft.
Does your program allow them to specialize in their interests? I know Abilene over the recent years has brought in science and engineering specialties, right, and different fields that maybe the kids think they might want to go towards. Does yours allow for like that customization of their personal interest or where they want to kind of dive in deeper.
Yeah. So that's kind of the whole point, is like the afternoons are built for your passion. So like obviously with the athletics, we're pushing that, but if a kid wants to go intern at the AI plant or the cheese factory or with a bank, we're trying to build up those pathways for them.
So I suspect it's probably important for you guys to have a lot of community connections and to be very involved throughout the community so that they can tap into those resources and see those things firsthand.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we're very pro Abilene. Our program isn't built to ship kids anywhere else. It's to help them understand how to promote and engage and uplift and build here within. And so yeah, we make a lot of connections with businesses and other programs in the community to help get kids, not only get kids experience, but kind of like I mentioned earlier, we want kids to get feet in the door and open some doors for them into the community that we hope that they'll lead as we move forward with the school and as a program.
Is it hard finding teachers, or I'm not sure, are they called teachers?
Yeah, we call them teachers.
Was it hard to find those people?
So our strategy is if we expect to provide the absolute best in education, if we expect to provide the absolute best in athletics, we have to take care of our people the absolute best. And so we pay about double or triple the typical hourly rate for our teachers here in the community. So we're working really hard to make it a place where the best want to be, just so we can offer the highest level of opportunities for our kids.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. Our kids, like we've mentioned aspirations before, our program is designed to get kids into the next level. We talked about the athletic side of it, and we talked about the entrepreneurial side of it, but with the academic side, we align with the NCAA standards. Our kids graduate with accredited transcripts, but we are trying to do more than that. We're trying to open doors and make connections. So our kids get into the community, they lead the community, but they're also well prepared for the next level. We have partnerships with dual credit, so a lot of our kids, when they graduate, they'll graduate with one or multiple associate's degrees, just to give them a head start into life. So they don't just come here to do the typical thing that they could do at another school. They're coming because they're really leaning into being more prepared and well prepared for actual real world situations. Our kids leave knowing how to fill out tax documents. They leave knowing how to do a personal budget. All of the things that they also learn the Pythagorean theorem, but they also need to learn how to balance a checkbook. And so those are built into the programming that we do.
Those real life skills.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The curriculum for those things that maybe are more like those life skills, balancing the budget, like where does that context come from?
Right. So a lot of it is project-based learning. And so we don't give them a textbook and say, here, read this, and this is how you learn how to balance a checkbook. We give them actual problems and that they have to come up with solutions for. Kids are really brilliant. A lot of times, if we can just provide the environment and provide the freedom to solve these problems, they can figure it out, and they understand it. They understand it at a deeper level because they're problem solving with them and their peers and within themselves, but they also have to turn and reteach it and share ideas and collaborate with their peers. And so we're under the impression that kids need to be much more well prepared than just being able to fill out the correct answers on a test. Especially with AI coming, we have the plant coming into the town, and so this is a topic of conversation everywhere. But the one skill that we know every kid will need in the future, and that's been needed from the beginning of the world, is problem solving. If our kids can just learn how to problem solve, and if we can provide environments and situations where they can flex those muscles, develop those skills, if they can problem solve, if they can look at the world and see here's an opportunity for me, or here's a way that I can make it a little bit better, and they have the confidence and the capacity to be able to do that, that's the greatest impact that we can have on those kids, and that's the greatest impact students from XDOT Prep could have on the community.
You articulated that so much better, or what's always in my head, I'm like, just think think.
Right,
But
right.
that's what I'm trying to say, like problem
Yeah.
solve, look, find a solution, be solution oriented.
Yeah.
I think that that's something that just everyone in life needs more of, but especially the kids, because they just, a lot of times in the classroom setting, they're just answering questions or,
Right.
and that whole thinking, I call it thinking, but
Yeah.
solution, problem solving is
Yeah.
a very much needed area, I think.
Yeah, and that's at the core of what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to create independent learners, thinkers, and doers. And to be any of those, you have to be a problem solver. And it goes far beyond being able to read a word problem on a test and picture it in your mind and then figure out the answer to that. It's how do I take this thing that I have and organize it into a way that it's a solution for this problem that I'm seeing over here. And that skill, that's what's made humanity progress so much as far as we have, and it'll but lead us into the progression of the future.
Nice. You've talked a little bit about where you're going next year. Do you guys have bigger, longer term goals, or do you know?
Right. Yeah. So as a new organization, we'll have our national teams. We have teams that are going to go compete on a showcase scale. And as we grow, we just want to. Our ambition is to put Abilene on the map. We want to plant our flag here in Abilene and say, you don't have to go, if you need to fill your roster with incredible talent, don't fly over Abilene. Like, you need to stop here and take a look at what Abilene is capable of doing. And so we're trying to, as we grow, that's the intention is put Abilene on the map, showcase the talent that we have available here, and help provide a stepping stone for that talent to go out and prove to the world what we're capable of.
I love that. If parents or people in the community were wanting to learn more about your school or wanting to find you guys, where should they go, or where should they call, or where should they look?
Yeah, so the fastest and easiest answer is always go to the website, right? Go to x.prep.com. It talks about our programming, it talks about our academic programs, our athletic programs, and can I give you an outline? From there, you'll be able to find our contact information, so reach out to us. We're happy to answer questions or inquiries at any time. Make sure try to answer questions and hopefully find out if it's the right fit for a family or not.
Perfect. How does your enrollment year work as far as, do you have a cutoff for the upcoming school year for applications?
No, we really don't. So enrollment is open year round. Yep. If X.Prep is a program that you think would benefit your family and your kids, we don't just say you only have a short window. If it's an opportunity for you, we understand that timing and an opportunity presents itself very differently for every family. And so if somebody's moving here in August and we say they would a perfect fit for the program, but we're trying to make it accessible for them still, so they don't have to wait until the next year around June to get in.
That's nice that you guys have that flexibility.
Yeah.
Thank you again for coming in. I really appreciate your time. It's very interesting to me to learn about something new in Abilene, and maybe others already knew about it, but I think there's probably a lot of people out there that haven't heard about you guys. So thank you very much for coming in, and I appreciate and excited that you're part of Abilene and here to do great things.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for having us. We're appreciative of you having us.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you next time. This is Amber Kimmel with Kimmel Collective in Abilene, Texas.